massive explosion sent heavy smoke billowing from the Kano Central Mosque. It was packed with Friday worshippers at the time. The blast set off chaos outside. Police say 3 heavily armed men opened fire on people fleeing. At least 35 people were reported killed, 150 others wounded. Some reports, though, say the death toll is much higher. Police say a mob then rushed the attackers and killed them. The horrific scene played out in Kano, next to the palace of Kano's Emir, who has been heavily critical of the militants of Boko Haram, which are terrorizing the region. So far, no one has claimed responsibility for Friday's attack. Nigeria's president has expressed condolences for those killed and has ordered an investigation. Agence France press correspondent Benjamin Simon is in Lagos, Nigeria. He joins us now on the line. Let me ask you, first of all, about the casualty and death toll, because we have seen very different estimates, some of them startling. How many people are known to have been killed?
Well, I think that certainly the police number is likely to be low. Nigerian security services often put out a death toll which is not entirely reflective of what happened. We believe that the number of people who lost their lives is well above 100. Bodies were taken to at least 4 hospitals. A reporter of ours counted at least 92 dead bodies at one hospital alone, and rescue agencies, the people calling around to all the different hospitals, collating figures, put the number at above 120. So we believe that the figure is up in the 120 to 130 range.
Now, it is odd and unsettling that anyone would be attacked at prayer, but for Boko Haram, a Muslim extremist group, to attack other Muslims in a mosque, it's startling. And in Nigeria's second largest city, is Boko Haram breaking with the kind of attacks that Nigeria has suffered before, usually in more remote areas against defenseless targets?
I do think it's important to note that the majority of Boko Haram's victims have been Muslims. Yes, there have been church attacks targeting Christians, but thousands and thousands of people have died, most of them Muslims. Boko Haram also has made it very clear that they do not support Nigeria's so-called Islamic monarchies. They believe that the senior clerics, like the Emir of Kano, whose palace was attacked today, have betrayed Islam by accepting the authority of Nigeria's secular government. And therefore, an attack at a mosque that belonged to the Emir of Kano, Nigeria's #2 cleric, is consistent with Boko Haram's pattern of violence.
Now, we have been reporting this, but it is another strange twist to this terrible incident that the killers were themselves killed by people at the scene. Can you tell us how that happened?
Well, mob action is not new to Nigeria, and there have been a series of recent reports where locals believe that someone is trying to set off explosives or set off a bomb, and they've attacked that person and ultimately killed them. What the police told me today was that there were up to 15 people who opened fire on worshippers in sort of the chaotic aftermath following the blast, and that most of those gunmen escaped, but at least 4 were captured by a mob and killed. And that also is not new to Nigeria. Crowds here do have a track record of turning to violence in the chaos that follows attacks.
Now, if reports are to be believed, Boko Haram is suspected of carrying out this attack, as you mentioned, not long after the Emir of Kano publicly urged people to reject their brand of extremism. Where is the Emir? Was he himself in danger in this attack?
We believe that the Emir is out of the country. He did not respond to several phone calls today, and there's evidence that his office is he was out of the country, and there's evidence that he was, in fact, possibly in Saudi Arabia. Those details have not been confirmed, and the palace has not confirmed that to us. But we do not believe the Emir was on site at the time of the attack. And it's true that he had issued very stern words about Boko Haram just last week at Friday prayers. But there's no reason to believe that he was absent this week for any particular reason other than a pre-scheduled trip.